Time for my favorite list of the year to do. My top 10 favorite Yu-Gi-Oh cards of 2017. These are the cards that I loved to use and had a great time playing with. Fair warning though, I only played 3 different decks this year. I played Toad Hero, Magician Pendulum, and World Chalice. I tried really hard to keep the list from getting too repetitive, but I like what I like. And if you know what I like, you might have an idea what this list is going to have in it. And also, I like link format, so if you have a problem with some of the things on this list, shut up, it's my opinion. So without further ado, let's get started. I miss trap cards, and even though I do like evenly matched, my favorite trap this year was Lost Wind. I like getting to have the attack. I like getting to negate effects. These are things that were a big problem this year, especially with the True Draco matchup. And for Toad Heroes, this card really came in clutch in a lot of duels. Being able to reuse it, especially as we realized we would be in Zodiac domination for 7 months, was a lifesaver. And this card really worked its way into my heart, and I got my playset of 3 for if the game ever gets slow enough for traps. Number 9 is the first link monster on this list, AKASHIC Magician. I just enjoy this card. We need more link arrows pointing down in this game, and this card has some really interesting interactions. The first effect to bounce back can come in handy, especially against overly spammy boards, and the second effect can be really good for milling things, especially in World Chalice when you need combo pieces in the grave, like Guard Dragons and Lees and Orums and that for effects and Chosens and all that good stuff. But essentially, this card kind of worked its way out of World Chalice because by the time you can make this thing, it's really not that useful, but I've got her for when the time is right. Number 8 is number 41, Robbie Cole. I like Babushka. I like getting to set up some defense. I like getting to stall for a little bit. I like in Magicians a deck that can actually sometimes just not have enough things to use. Like, I like just being able to make a guy, let him sit for a little bit, and then draw into some better resources. Plus, you can combo him with Decode Talker and other Link monsters to keep your battle phase up. And, well, hey, I like Link, so a little promotion there never hurt. Heroes got 2 support cards in 2017, and of them, my favorite is Honest Neos. I like that we got a hand trap. I like that it gives a really big boost. I like that it's a light target for if you want to try some shining shenanigans. It really is a good card. Now, granted, in the Toad Hero part of the year, it was really worrisome if you should run this in Vion. What numbers do you run them at? Can it be a bad time to see it? When is it a bad time to see it? But ultimately, what this card does for the archetype, I think was great in the long run, and I can't wait for the Solid Man so I get a chance to use my heroes again and have this guy kick ass. Supreme King Dragon Clearwing is maybe the most underrated card of the year, because when it came out, no one used it. And then when Magicians came out in June, no one used it. It wasn't until Magicians became one of the best decks in Link format that people realized how powerful this card is. It's a board wipe on legs. Plus, it does damage and it just blows stuff up on the attack. This is an amazing card, and it was a rare! A rare, and then a common. Give me my holo printing OTS packs. Give me something I actually want. This card is awesome. I love it. Next to Ignister, it's probably the synchro I use the most in the deck for actually beating up shit. I love this card. If you aren't playing it already in your Magicians, do it right now. TOPOLOGIC is just hilarious. I love using this card. I love what it does for a board, especially because in World Chalice, you can get some pretty bad hands. A lot of people know that that deck has some bad bricking issues. And this card can sometimes help it. Maybe you can't make the best Firewall board. Maybe you can't make a Tri-Gate Wizard that can negate stuff. But making a TOPOLOGIC is not that hard. You can easily just put this guy up and your opponent has to play around it. Like with Babushka, your opponent cannot ignore the fact that this thing is on the field. They have to deal with it immediately, especially in Spiral and Trickstar. I just love what this card does. Just making the whole main monster zone into a minefield to me is just hilarious. Plus that second effect comes in a lot. I just love using this card and I want more people to use it. You know what, forget Clearwing. This is the most underrated card of 2017. Number 4 goes to the first Link monster we got. Now, Decode Talker was considered for this list, but Link Spider has just done more for me personally. I play a normal monster deck, so this thing is amazing in normal monsters. Like I said, we need more Link arrows that point down. down, and this thing enables it in a big bad way. The key starter for any great Firewall or Trigate Wizard turn is with a Link Spider. I just like the fact that it forever gives normal monsters an added level of power. Just use this thing and you can basically just begin going off, no problem at all. Now granted, thanks to like Grinder Golem and Scapegoat and Gofu and all these other things, the card is more useful for what it is rather than what it does. But for those of us who really like to use weird shit that involves non-effect monsters, it always will have a spot in my extra deck. If I had to pick one card in World Chalice that I think just does the most and is the most fun to use, it's World Legacy. How can it not be? Like, look at this thing. Like, yeah, it's a tribute summon, so in the top deck game it can be a problem, but what you get when you use it is insane. 2 monsters straight from the deck for a link summon. Like, you link with it, summon 2 monsters, get out whatever other part of your combo piece you need. Whether you need the Guard Dragon, the Lee, the Chosen. This card is amazing. Like, literally, whenever I see this thing and tribute fodder for it, I know I'm in good hands and I can get through the turn with a badass, kick-ass board, and this card is the reason for that. The other thing I love about it, I love you can banish it, add another one, or add World Legacy's Heart, or whatever other crazy things they make for World Legacy stuff. It's such a powerful and insane card, and it just flew under the radar. Like, really, that seems to be the theme for this list. I love this card to death. I never really use the extra deck effect. It really doesn't come up much, and if you're relying on a 0 attack, 0 defense monster to deal with your opponent's extra deck, you're kind of in a bad spot. But it truly is a great card, and what else can I say? It makes World Chalice what it is. Number 2 is Harmonizing Magician. There was really no other way to decide what would be the best Magician card. This card is... I love it. First up, I love that it's an evolved version of Tuning Magician, which was a really fun card for last year's version of Magician Pendulums with Pendulum Call. So seeing her grow up a little bit, which means next time we get the 18-year-old version, really was great. Getting this amazing access to level 8 synchros, rank 4 X season, anything is such a crazy effect. If you couldn't tell, my favorite part about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is crazy extra deck shenanigans. So seeing what this card does, all the different things you can make, the variety of combos, the sheer number of cards you immediately gain access to is insane. This is one of the best combo enablers I've ever seen. This is one of the best starters I've ever seen. Primary playmakers, tuners, just... It's awesome. I love this card. It's beautiful. If you're not playing this thing at 3 Magicians, you've got some serious problems. Or you don't want to be around little children to ignite your issues. I don't judge. Number 1 is Firewall Dragon. Fuck you, fight me. I love Firewall Dragon. I love bouncing my opponent's stuff back. I love getting out the Gamma Seal combo. I love the fact that this card makes World Chalice and will forever be what makes a good Link deck. This card has great disruption. It has great combo enabling. I understand people hate it. I understand people want it banned. But first up, none of those stupid FTKs anyone has done with it has actually topped a YCS or done anything of merit. Just because you saw a 4-minute YouTube video of Firewall Dragon mixed with Grand Soil does not mean that it deserves to get banned. But essentially, I just love what this card does. I love its link arrows. I love the artwork. I think it looks really cool. And above all else, I like the fact that it's not this cookie-cutter simple card to make. Like, you really do need to think about how to summon it. Like, yeah, Spirals spam it out. They spam everything out. But in other decks like World Chalice, you need to think. You need to actually have some strategy. How do I get this thing where it's most strategic? How do I use it best with everything else? How do I get to the Gamma Seal? Like, all these interesting things. And I love thinking out new combos. And I love coming up with new ideas of how to use this thing in different decks. I think it's a really fun card. I get people don't like it, but this was my list. I could say whatever I want. And what do you want to say? In the comment section below, give me your favorite cards of the year, what you're looking forward to next year. Or I guess this year it is 2018 after all. And as always, click to like, click to subscribe, and let's see what awesome new cards we get next.